Hi, guys. Welcome today. We're here on the ElationPodcast, here to talk about Speedy Lit, recording artist here from New Orleans. You're local, right? You're born and raised here, right?
Born and raised, Dave. Born and raised.
That's awesome. Where did you go to high school?
George Washington Carver.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I went to Curtis. That's always what we ask when we're down here is where you went to school. And it's never college, it's always high school.
Okay.
But you got to say. That way everybody knows where you grew up, you know. But that's awesome. So I know obviously you're a recording artist and you love music, but what really kind of inspired you to get into music?
I would say my family, man.
Your family, yeah.
My dad was in a gospel band with his brothers from Kenwood, Louisiana. And I was around it all my life, just going to church, seeing them perform at festivals, and I just was around it. As I got older, started investing in equipment, recording mics, things like that, writing poems, and I kind of just fell in line with it.
I got you. Family music, man. That's it starts at the heart when it starts in the family.
Right.
So I'm guessing you grew up watching them just sing and do stuff in the house and. The gospel music. Did you attach yourself to any of that early on in your music career?
Actually, my first song was a gospel song. I was a Christian rapper. My name was Preach, and so I did kind of dip and dabble with the gospel music for a little bit.
Yeah,
but not too long.
I got you. How many mixtapes or albums have you put out so far?
I would say over 10.
Over 10?
Over 10.
Yeah, and the Relax series, right? It's a series, right?
I love it, man. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
I love it.
What made you go with Relax? What was the...
I just had this sarcastic way about me when people kind of be aggressive or people have attitude or kind of show any type of negativity. I would always just be like, relax, And I took that, man, and I ran with it. And I just started making project after project, and it just became like a signature project for me.
I got you.
So,
what kind of music, can you explain that? Because then we were talking about, the first song was a Christian, or gospel song. What would you explain the Relax mixtapes being?
The Relax mixtapes are always life-based journeys for me. Every Relax I've dropped has been a journey into what's current with my life, where I'm going with my life, and what I've been through in my life.
I got you. That's awesome. And so now I'm pausing. All right, so what about your name? Where did you get your name from, Speedy Lit? Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, my first ever, besides Preach, my first another music name I went by was Be Love. And it sounded too R&B-ish.
It definitely sounds R&B-ish. I was waiting for you to do a riff on me,
For real, bro. So it definitely came off too R&B-ish, and I got clowned. You know what I'm saying? Nobody till I'll drop a song and they'll be like, yeah, we know he's singing on that song.
And then we got G-Love.
Right. And then my father passed, man. My father passed in 2012, and after he passed, my nickname between him and his brothers was Speedy. I used to run every time I used to get my ass whipped.
Gotcha.
So he liked Speedy Gonzalez. They called me Speedy. He passed, and I wanted to change my name. And I was working at Lowe's, man. I was working at Lowe's in New Orleans East, and they had a chick, man, Solo. Shout out to Solo. And I was just brainstorming some names, and I was like, yo, I know I want to use Speedy. What can I incorporate with it so it kind of pop?
Right.
And she was like, what you do? I was like, man, I be chilling. I be lit, And she was like, Speedy Lit. And somebody walked by, and I was like, tested it out. Hey, man, you heard that new Speedy Lit mixtape? He was like, nah, but that sound cool. And I ran with it.
All right.
And ever since then, it was my name, bro. I ran with it.
That personal marketing campaign that you did right away, Hey, listen, if it rolls off the tongue, it's the right answer, I mean, it's funny because Elation took me a long time to find a name, and it was one of the first ones I came up with, and then I passed on it for months, and then ended up circling right back to it, But it's funny, as a producer, I know we were talking about it earlier, I do produce, but as a producer name, I had a hard time coming up with...
What is your producer name?
Well, I just ended up going with David Lee Adams because every name that I ended up coming up with, it just didn't feel right, and it ended up feeling like it was fake and it wasn't the right character.
Right.
So in the end, I just said, I'm going to just go with my name. But, it's whatever works for you. If you can find that character and fit in it, it's great.
Roll with it.
Roll with it. It's tough. That name is a big deal.
It is.
The name's a big deal. It's your whole marketing campaign.
Right.
Well, awesome. Well, what were some of your biggest performances you think you've done? Because I know you perform a little bit in downtown and festivals and stuff, right?
Never done a festival. A couple open mics. I think the best performance I had, there was one, it's between two. It was one I did in Houston. I did an open mic one in Houston. That was pretty cool. Another city, another state, new ears, new people. And us doing that, it just showed me that, hey, man, my music is really dope. Like, people are really gravitating to it. And it kind of opened me up to be like, keep going.
Right.
The one down here was cool because I actually emceed the show. It was through a company called the Showcase Tour. And I actually emceed the show. And after everyone performed, I had like a 30-minute set. So I brought all my boys and we performed, and that was cool. I had family there, and that was actually a pretty good show as well. That's on YouTube. So that one was pretty cool too.
Awesome. Well, I know you mentioned earlier you worked at Lowe's. Can you explain a little bit about the hustle and the I guess the background of really having to struggle in a sense for your own art, because nobody makes money out the gate.
Right.
So obviously if you're working Lowe's and doing music, you're doing two jobs.
Right.
So explain a little bit about the hard work you put in and what you have to do to actually be in this industry.
Stay ambitious, keep going, and always bet on yourself. Everybody I tell, man, and I look around and I see them, paying for studio time, investing in their craft. Me, I just wasn't patient enough to depend on someone else. So I went ahead and bought my own studio equipment. I went ahead and bought my own mic. I YouTubed how to EQ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I went ahead and just wanted it for myself because no one's not going to bet on me more than me.
Right.
So
that step is what most people don't do.
Right.
That one step of, let me go learn something that, by myself, somewhere on my own, go to YouTube or find a book or find a tutorial or teach yourself what you need from somebody else if you can't pay for it.
Right.
And let me just jump in it myself and figure it out.
Right.
That step is important for people to understand, So it's awesome that you took that.
Yeah, bro. That was a huge step. So to anyone out there, watching, listening, always bet on yourself and invest in yourself. You can't lose that week.
Where do you see yourself going as an artist?
Bro, I'm never going to stop making music. Like, never. I feel like it's in me. It's not a day that goes by to where I don't love it. I don't think about it. I don't enjoy doing it. Maybe rocky roads to where I have off and all seasons, to where it might go from every day out of the week making a song to 2 weeks go by and I don't make a song. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I love it, bro. So to see where I'm going, the journey so far has brought me here.
Right.
It's brought me to Elation. I appreciate it. And wherever else it takes me, I'm just willing to see, bro.
What are some of the collaborations you've had? You've done any work with other artists?
My first professional feature was from Lil B, the Bass God. That was huge for me.
That's awesome.
That was dope how that came about off of Twitter. Mentioned him, he responded.
Tell us about that story.
Man, I was on Twitter and he was just, Lil B, man, he's always with his fans, retweeting photos from people. Thank you, Bass God, on your feet and all type of stuff from him. And he had something just, if anyone wants to collab with me, mention me. And I mentioned him, and I kind of did it a strategic way to let him know, like, bro, I really know you. Like, I really enjoy your music. I told him about the Grows. He did a song with Lil Wayne off, what project was that off? I think Sorry for the Wait.
Right.
And he was on that song, and I mentioned him. Like, hey, bro, I like your verse on Grove Street, Young Bass God, and mentioned him. He responded and was like, yo, you from Louisiana? And I was like, yeah. We started DMing. We DM'd. He was like, send me the song. Sent him the song. The next day, bro, he sent the song back, ASCAP information and everything.
Damn.
We talked financials, sent him some numbers. And yeah, I had my first feature from Lil B the Bass Guy, bro.
That's
I
awesome.
was geeked. Dropped it.
So those Twitter things and Instagram things you see are real from artists, which is rare, you know, in the industry. You never used to be able to touch those people,
right?
You know, and now you have access with social media and stuff. So that's awesome that you reached out because it's. I mean, I see that stuff all the time. I'm like, I don't really know if it's real or not, but it's good to know that those things do, you know, actually happen that way.
It did, bro, and I was grateful. We talked about doing a video, but he wasn't too open about it, you know, but the song definitely, you know, it was legit, bro. It was legit.
That's awesome.
Called Fury.
Yeah. Fury. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, so is there anything up and coming music wise that you're working on now, or you have you're working on another Relax mixtape, or are you doing another project, or?
I got a project in the works right now. I haven't came up with a title for it, but I definitely been working all summer on it.
I got you. What's the inspiration?
I isolated myself from everything, bro. I felt like I had to like cleanse my mental. And doing so, everything that I went through, you know, I basically put into this project.
Right. I feel like we've all had to cleanse our mentals since COVID. That's for sure.
For sure. But yeah, man. So the inspiration behind it is just I'm driven. You know, like I said before, I'm never gonna stop doing music. So it's always that, you know, the inertia behind me that people know that is just this dude's full of energy. He's, you know, it's him. He's lit. He's Speedy Lit.
He's Speedy Lit, huh?
We lit.
So one question I like to ask our guests is, what brings elation to you in your life? You know, elation is peak happiness. So what would that be for you in your life?
Peak happiness, music and food.
Music and food. You know, it's funny how that always blends. I feel music and food, especially down here, it's, you know, I don't know if maybe it's because we grew up eating with live bands, you know, attached to everywhere. But for some reason, that whole synergy between food and music is pretty big down here. So I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that. You got to have good food and good music.
Yeah, man. That brings me happiness. Doing my music. Record music, being around music, food, eating. I also love cooking, you know, a little chef on the side,
Dude,
man.
From here, you got to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a competition with my
bro,
dad, my grandparents.
You cook?
Yeah, of course I cook, man. You kidding me? The funny thing is, though, I'm Cajun, but the best thing I do is Italian food.
Got
so,
you.
You know, but... You know, it is what it is, but yeah, no, I'm the one who cooks lasagna every Christmas now.
Nice.
So,
all right.
You know, I've gotten stamped by the family, so it's good enough for me.
Yeah, bro.
Well, that's awesome. Why don't you tell people where they can find you and find your music? And
man, every distribution platform, Speedy Lit, YouTube, Speedy Lit, Reverb Nation, Speedy Lit, Twitter, Speedy Lit. You know, Instagram.
That's awesome. You got them all Speedy Lit.
Yeah,
that's kind of it's rare that you've got it all across the board. So normally that means it's right when you pick that, and you know you can actually stretch it out across multiple platforms and be the same thing.
Right.
So that's awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Well, great. Well, thanks for joining us today, and nice meeting you.
You too, man.
And thank you guys for joining us today on the Elation Podcast, where we like to find exhilarating euphoria through creation and collaboration. So thanks again.